What up, y'all? Welcome to the latest episode of Giggles, Irene Radio. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, AudioMac, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Today's special guest comes from us straight off a flight from ATL, but he is not from ATL. He is from the city of Los Angeles. He just wants to send his greetings from Manchester. And please welcome artist L.A Juan.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal?
How are you?
I'm all right. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for willing to pull up. You know, it's been a long time coming. I feel like the year of COVID kind of made me miss like a lot of artists that I wanted to speak to because we weren't able to meet in person. So now that artists that I fuck with are dropping projects, I'm like, yes, like come talk to me.
I've just been waiting. Like I've really been sitting in the house like, okay, like instead of me getting frustrated or like I don't know what to do, like just stack the little money I got. I already had the project pretty much ready, like just getting the fine details on that. I was like, as soon as they lift the ban, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they lift, I'm gone.
Everything's starting to open up slowly but surely, you know. So I'm glad that you weren't getting frustrated because I feel like that anger, especially with not being able to go outside, it just like builds up, and you don't ever want to be like that angry person on social media, you know. Because like not only that, like I also feel like when artists are mad on social media, you're kind of not appreciating the people that do support you. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's tough. Like it's a tough balance doing it. I try to stay away from it.
Yeah, I feel it. It's an everyday battle. No, I feel it. Like I do too, and I'm not even an artist, but like you know, it happens. Yeah, you know, we go through the motions. We're human.
Fact.
You know, so. I'm glad that you made it here safely. I'm glad that you're here.
Appreciate that.
Before we get into your latest release, because I have like little things I want to break down about it. I basically want my viewers to like get to know you more because I know they've seen you. If they follow me on Twitter, I know they've seen your stuff because you know I be posting it and everything. So yeah, like you know, whenever I fuck with something, like it doesn't hurt for me to like share it, like you know, because I know I don't have the same ears as everybody else, but you know, I never know who's watching.
Right.
Yeah. So, so I've known about you since I want to say like 2018, 2019.
Okay.
What made me tap into you was the cover art for your purple dusty L.A. summer. Like, yeah, I like the color purple. If y'all didn't know,
okay.
you know that you know. So and cover art always draws me in. I don't think artists like they know, but some of them like don't care like how important cover art is.
Yeah. Serious.
So yeah. Before we like start jumping into your music, when did your music career like begin?
I actually was making music previously in a group called The League.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in a group called The League, and it was just me and a homie. And we had been pushing for a second, and shit just got a little shaky.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person I feel like I don't have no like skills outside of music for real. Like it don't matter what job I had.
Yeah.
If whether I've done something wrong to lose that job or not, like jobs just come and go.
Yeah.
You know, like I've done school, I can do school, but it gets overbearing at a time. I mean, at a time. But music, the only thing that I ever like did where it's like it could be 2 days go past, I don't even worry about eating.
Okay.
Like ever, like the only thing ever in my life, like okay, I ain't ate.
It's the constant that keeps you going.
Yeah, because like my brain working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my brain working faster than you can ever see. So I don't have to explain that to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm working.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like I you know, like it helps, but we did that first and it got shaky and so because of that I was like I need music like as my outlet because if not I'm gonna lose my shit. Yeah. And I lost my uncle like 2017.
Oh, sorry about that.
And I saw, you know, it's all good, that's life. But like he was like my closest uncle to me, so I lost my uncle. And at that moment I just like, bro, I gotta record. So one of the producers I used to record with when I was working in the group, I called him like, hey bro, can we, you know what I mean, get something set up? 77 to 18, I recorded all that in the house.
Oh wow.
That whole project. Every single song damn near recorded in the house. Yeah. Save some money from a job, bought studio time, like in months, like in chunks of like months at a time. Yeah. So I had like just full subscription. Shout out to my boy Dusty. Shout out to Matrix over at Hotbox Studios and my boy Dusty. and they just showed me love, and I just worked and worked and worked, and like re-recorded those songs, got them right. But it only took me like a week. Yeah. Like really like 3 sessions to like redo them, get them tight. That was that. Yeah. You know, and so in the midst of that, I did Purple Dusty because I like I dumbass time. You know, so my work ethic changed, like because that's when I first started paying for studio time. Oh, okay. So me and my boy, we just in a garage here, closet there. You know, but when I started paying for studio time, it changed my focus. Yeah. And like I understood that if I'm gonna pay for some shit, I better use every second. Like, fuck a minute. Like every second, I'm gonna use it. So, it helped me to come up with verses and hooks and write faster. Okay. Because my mind is thinking I'm on the clock. And I can't.
Technically, you are.
I can't get that time back. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who ever been in the studio with me, like if it's paid time and it's on me, like I'm on your ass. Yeah. Because I can't get that time back. So either show up and work. Yeah. And be ready to do this shit or go home. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's how serious.
It's not a kick it spot.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. People be thinking that shit. Like the only time I really even want people in a session like that is if that's the vibe, that's the mood. Because if not, everybody got an opinion like they got an asshole. Yeah. You know. So.
Yeah. Does that mindset cause problems within like friendships and stuff?
Nah, I mean, it can, you know, but like my real true friends, like most of them don't even show up to the studio. Oh, okay. Not even on no I don't fuck with you shit, but they just know like he in his element.
He's in his zone. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good.
And it's like, wow, like what we have to talk about in here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
throw you off or something. Yeah. Okay,
so
that's cool.
Sometimes I tell them to pull up, like just listen to this. Like I'll give them a couple songs to listen to and see what they say as friends. You know what I'm saying? But even them, sometimes you gotta watch who you look for. Any type of acceptance or any type of stamp of approval from, in my opinion, like even because your friends don't always see the vision either. Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like you keep trying to tell them your vision and shit like that, and they might tell you to shut the fuck up. They tired of hearing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can't get those dreams out. They keep you up at night. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You wake up early because they, you know what I mean? That's all you think about. So it's like, what's wrong with you? You know, and they be like, bro, that's all. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Yeah. So,
you're like, what do you mean? I'm chasing the dream. Like, what's wrong? Yeah, like, what's wrong with you that you don't understand it? Yeah. I bet it's a struggle that all creatives have to go through because, like, you know, it's like the quotes that we see on social media all the time. Like, it's your vision. You're the only one that has to understand it. God. And it sucks because, I mean, it's like, you know, there's pros and cons because obviously, like, if it's something we're passionate about, we expect others to like understand and be like, hey, you know, but it happens. Right. Yeah. Who were you listening to growing up? Because I feel like your style of rap is it doesn't go with like the sounds that are coming out of LA that are like the wave, like, you know, but it's still listenable. Like I like the storytelling and the walking in your shoes. Like I really like that shit. But what inspired you to go that route?
I think sound wise, it doesn't sound specifically LA. Just like for real, my whole background. Like my stepdad is from New York.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? My mom is the first child of 5 born in LA.
Oh wow.
So like the dichotomy of like my whole existence is kind of like I come from these 2 people that are from like the most populated places in the whole country. Yeah. And my pops and Irene, you know what I mean? My mom in the medical field. So like the way they think about life and how they move is different. And they come from structured, organized ass environment.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the one in the house like, no.
You're like, questioning things. Yeah, so they're like, what's wrong with these questioning shit?
Yeah, like I've always been like that. Like I'm a why kid. So you can tell me to do anything in the world. Yeah. Once you tell me why, I'll jump over the fucking mountain for you. Yeah. Because I understand. If you tell me to do some shit, you don't give me no reason, no explanation. I'll just be like, oh, okay. Like, sure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? And because that inquisition kind of, some people get turned on and they want to help you more because you want to know why. Yeah. Some people push you away because they feel like you're being combative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? True. And so because of that, my parents felt like that at times. And so I went to like a military college. Yeah. So I had to go back east. when I went to college on the East Coast, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't know nobody.
Yeah.
I don't have no family here.
You were solo.
Yeah, super solo. And I literally like almost for like maybe for 4 weeks straight. It felt like the equivalent of being in jail.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm the only kid from L.A. I'm the only kid damn near from California.
Yeah.
Most of these people ain't never been there. They ain't never met a black kid from California. And it's the East Coast, so everybody talk a little more aggressive.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm laid back like, oh, what's up, bro? What's the deal? What's up, fool? Hey, bro, are you gay? And I'm like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm like, no, bro.
Like, that's what you get from me?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, like, one of my first interactions going to school there was that. And they was like, well, just because they had never met nobody from California. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, we can fight. You know what I'm saying? We can, you know what I mean? We can see. But that's, you know, like, that's not how I get down. And, like, literally almost every day. Like, another fade, you got to run another one.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's, like, some of it because everything a motherfucker see on the movie and they ain't never been to L.A., they want to test your shit.
Yeah.
They want to see.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know what I mean? Like, I'm from Manchester, you know what I'm saying? Florence and Normandy, Manchester and Normandy, Manchester and Western, Manchester and Dinker, Florence and Dinker, all that, like, the whole 80s, like, that's where I grew up. And so, you know, going to the East Coast and going to school, they don't understand that. I went to high school from the west side to the east side. I had to go. So I got to take the bus through everybody hood like that.
Yeah.
So me running phase with you at this point,
there's nothing.
It's not a big deal, bro. Win or lose, like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but they didn't understand that. So me doing that and getting that dichotomy of living there by myself, I understood hustle different. I understood storytelling a little different. Yeah. I understood struggle a little different because it was just me. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to put on for where I was from. Yeah. I don't have no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not from nobody's set. I'm not from nobody gang. But I've grown up in the 80s. I've lived on 83rd and Dinker, and I've lived on 76 in Dinker. For the, you know, 76 is my longest residency there. And, you know, since first when I became an adult, I moved and, you know, tried to just level up and shit. But, bro, I've already had to fight for this community. I've had to fight to get on the bus to go to school in my own hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to run me off. So I'm proud of where I came from. So going to Philly and doing that shit, like, I always push the 80s. I always push that part of L.A. Like, and sometimes I might, like, that's one thing I do frustratingly say on, like, social media. Like, why y'all keep looking over all the artists in the 80s? You know, like, I respect everybody, but I'm like, bro, you got Mad North, you got D3, you got Little Sody, who's, you know what I mean, like, a little older than us, but an OG, like, we just kind of keep getting looked over. I'm like, the only thing we got is Afro Man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the disconnect in time is so, you know, so huge that people don't even associate him with that part of LA.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm always going to fight for that part. You know what I'm saying? So going to Philly, going to Atlanta, like, I've gotten used to it. And traveling, like, I got used to it. And that diversity has helped me tell stories and have music that sounds like a variation versus, like, super specific to a part of, like, the country. Yeah. And that has allowed me to go indoors culturally that some people can't.
Yeah. It's kind of like it prepared you. Like, yeah, they say that you go through things that are going to prepare you for later on in life. So, like, you being in Philly and having to, like, represent where you're from kind of prepared you for, like, everything else that you were gonna face.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, I had to, like, even, like, you know, music. It's like when I went to school, like, you know, the Bay had, when I graduated high school, the Bay cracked. And, like, when I went to college, like, they were still pushing, still moving. Yeah. All LA really had, like, Gang was, you know, here, he was pushing. And right as I was in high school, I saw shit break. Like, I saw Don break. I saw Pac break from Philly, like, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. At that point, I was like, I shouldn't even went to college. I was like, well, for what? Yeah. Like, literally at that moment when I started seeing all them dudes break, I'd already had a MacBook, so I just started working on GarageBand that day.
Oh, okay.
I was like, nah.
I'm glad that it inspired you instead of, like, breaking you down, because you could have been like, fuck, like, oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know?
So the weather was so cold. I had played foot. Like, I wanted to be like a two-sport athlete out there, playing both basketball and football. The weather had got so cold, I knew. I was like, man, I ain't coming back.
Oh, okay.
I had already knew, like, in November.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to finish this season. I'm going to finish this school year, but I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, like, I know what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then that presents a problem to a house of people who are structured and organized and come from, you know what I'm saying? So,
because you're not following the path.
Not following the path.
I feel it. All creatives feel that in one way or another, at one point or another. Yeah. So you went to school for football initially?
Nah, I went to school, initially, I wanted to go for, like, television and radio broadcasting.
Oh, that's cool. That's what I went to school for.
Yeah, that's initially what I wanted to do.
That's tight.
And then I just went through life. Like, life hit. I went to a real small high school, like 300 students in total.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I graduated with like 50, 60 kids. Mm-hmm. So I go to Cal State L.A. first quarter. Mm-hmm. I go into my animal biology class, and there's 300 motherfuckers in there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have no questions
You're
to
like,
ask.
what?
I'm not raising no hands. Yeah, I don't have shit to say. Like,
yeah.
So for the first, like, couple of weeks of the court, I was just failing out.
Yeah.
And then it clicked. Like, school kind of clicked for me. I was like, I don't have to keep coming here to learn. Mm-hmm. So whatever the chapter was, or whatever the syllabus is for that day, I'll just go to the library and study it on my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I started like the YouTube University shit, but I had a assignment at Cal State LA to go sit with your advisor and talk to him about what you want to do.
Yeah.
I sat outside my advisor's like office for like 2 hours while he met with somebody else. I went in there, I told him what I wanted to do. He was like, "Why are you here? You don't have to go to college for this."
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, you don't wait, you're refusing my money?
Yeah, I was like, you just spent 2 hours with him knowing you told me in 5 minutes that I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
So what is it, bro? Like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so then when I approach people like that, because you talking about my life, you spent 2 hours with his life.
Yeah.
My shit only worth 15. And I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
So you telling me as a black man that I don't have no reason to be here.
Yeah.
I need to go back to the streets. And I can just pick it up from there and run with it, right? And I was like, fuck school.
Yeah.
So I left. I finished my little quarter at Cal State LA. Took some time to just kind of figure it out. Went to Southwest to get my shit right. Get my mind right so I can still stay in school. Yeah. And that's when I picked up and went to Philly and was like, let's try this and make this move and shit.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I've learned a lot. Like, this works for me, but it doesn't necessarily work for me.
Yeah. Well, and then I feel like that's life in general. You kind of have to figure out what works and what doesn't, you know? Correct. And it just sucks because, like, sometimes you feel like time is wasted, but hopefully whatever it is, like, you end up coming back to, like, use that lesson or whatever it is that you learned, you know? Correct. Describe, like, a moment of you in the booth. Because I feel like, obviously, like, you're in the zone, right? But when I listen to your music, I feel like there's very few artists where I feel like I want to be, like, a fly on the wall while they're recording. So I want you, if you're able to, like, to describe, like, your kind of, like, the energy that you go in with, besides, like, not wasting time, because you know that, like, every minute is, like, precious.
Right. You seen the movie Rain Man? You see when he dropped those toothpicks? Yeah. He'd be like 36, 36, 36. I'd be in there the whole time like this.
Oh, okay.
Bar,
on
it. And then, like, I'll be like, okay, that's 4 bars. Load me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not about to be like, trying to figure it out past that. If I get 2 bars and they work, pull it up. Let's go. Yeah. And most beats, I only give them like 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And that's because I know, like, if my soul don't jump, then it's work. You know what I'm saying? And that work can be that I'm forcing versus being free. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that has helped me to not try to force shit. Like, if I hear some shit, I'll be like, okay. Go ahead and try that. Put that to the side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm in a studio and I hear some shit, I don't waste time be like, like, put it in a folder for me. Yeah. Pull a bitch up. Let's go.
So do you ever get writer's block, or is it just like sometimes, whatever? Yeah.
If I write.
Okay.
Like, when I write, like, it takes me a minute sometimes. Sometimes I go in there right off the top and I'll do a whole 16. Okay. Sometimes I'll do 4, write 2 bars in the middle of recording those 4. Oh, okay, like, okay. My shit crazy.
It comes to you.
It just comes. Like, if I feel it, I'm going to feel it and I'm going to get it out. And we're gonna have a song. But if I don't, I try not to force it because that's people's time. That's our money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit you do at home, you work on your own time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Other than that, like, I try to be prepared. I try to mentally, you know, pack a woods. Get my shit right. Have some water. And just, I got to have good energy. Yeah. Like, no matter what the vibe of the music is, I got to have real good energy. And I try to have people in the studio with good energy. It might not even be artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might be the homie, it might be the home girl, you know what I'm saying? It could be whoever, just like, you got good positive energy, just stay in here for a second. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's really what it is. But it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Maybe I just kind of start mumbling, almost like a hash burger situation. You know what I'm saying? And then I go from there. It's over.
Yeah. Like, I feel like everybody works so different. Some people write at home and then they use the studio just to record. So, like, I like to, with the artists I fuck with, I like to hear, like, okay, so how do you do it? You know?
I feel that.
Because everybody's creativeness comes differently, you know? So.
And it depends. Sometimes it depends on what producer I work with, too.
Oh, okay.
So, like, Beezy, he, like, my in-house mainstay producer. And our relationship is very much different. So he might challenge me, be like, this one I want you to try to write, or this one, you know what I mean? Martami is the same way.
That's cool. Everybody needs people like that.
Yeah, sometimes they'd be like, I think you should write it. I'd be like, all right, you know, and I kind of took that, like, them doing that. I watched the interview, like, Pharrell and Snoop, and how he, like, made Snoop redo Drop It Like It's Hot. Like, and so I was like that's dope. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, like, shit happen. You know what I mean? Like, if the producer hear it, it's something that he hear too. You know what I'm saying? Because he listened as a producer and as a fan of you. Yeah. Or else he wouldn't be there. So
that's true. Let's talk about your Manchester EP. So it's entirely produced by Martamius.
Yep.
Yes, I said that right. It's 8 tracks. Yep. So it's considered an EP. It's about half hour. What I like about it is that when I listened to it, I didn't realize that it was done already. I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? So I like projects like that. Yeah. When you were putting it together, what was your, like, main goal with it?
Initially, we had just started with West Coast shit. We wasn't even working on a project. I had just recorded West Coast shit. Me and Martamius kind of just linked up back together, back working. Especially with me as a solo artist. So that's the first song, like, as a solo artist that I did with him pretty much. Yeah. And he was like, bro, I think kind of got something. He like, especially like by yourself, he like, this kind of works. So I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. So I had another life situation and I walked in the studio, at full anger. Like, I'm an Aries. So like, sometime when I'm hot, if I'm not in the right space, like, I won't go out. Because I know I can't reel that shit back in. And I don't want to be sitting in nobody's box. Yeah. You feel me? So I did Anthem for My Haters the next time. You know, and it didn't even sound like that completely. Like, I had to come back. That very beginning part that you hear, that happened like a whole 6 months later. Like,
oh, wow. Okay.
Because I just been sitting with it through quarantine. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, the shit started off boring. I was like, because if I was me, I hear it, it's cool, but it's like, you're not introing me into it. Like, you're not easing me into it. Like, at least give it a little foreplay. Yeah. So that's where I was like, all right, fuck it. Take the skits, take that part, and, like, just kind of run it back. And that's why I was like, all right, let's reel it back in. And then, but every song, every session almost came so separate.
Oh, okay.
So separate. Like, Ratchet Like GS we did in Atlanta last year. Okay. Yeah, me and Marty was out there together. We recorded that. Gilbert Arenas. I recorded when we landed back from Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I've been recording this shit, like, back and forth. And then we sat down one day and we was like, let's listen. Because before Gilbert Arenas was recorded, we was going to call it done.
Oh, okay.
And I walked in and I was like, nope. I was like, I need something. I was like, it just don't hit. I just need one song, like, just one that just kind of, like, knocks a little more than usual. Yeah. And that's how I got.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was good. And so it's kind of, I think my musical connection to shit is, like, kind of abstract. But, like, if you, like, almost like a 3 stacks, like, if you can look at the picture, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did Music Mondays in Atlanta with, like, Coalition DJs. It's a pretty big ordeal. And one of the DJs is like, I kind of didn't understand number 2. Like, the second song I did, and it was Gilbert Arenas. He's like, I just kind of didn't understand it. And I know I'm in a different culture, different state.
Oh, okay,
all that, right? Waka Flocka brother is in the building, too. He got, like, 15 niggas with him. I'm from L.A., you know what I'm saying? It's gangbang culture, like, you know what I mean? That's all we know. So I see some cats got the blue and white beads. I see a cat got a blue hoodie with, like, 3 fingers on it. Okay, you know, I'm from, that's my section. Like, I'm from the original land of that shit. So I'm looking like, so I go up there, and I'm from the part of L.A. where my niggas putting 3s up, and they're in the back. That whole shit erupted. Really? Them niggas went crazy. Big gang banging. I was like, oh shit, this is not what I expected the reaction and the response to be, but they went stupid. Uncontrollable damn near. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't get it, but I know that it works. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that's what this shit is about. That wasn't for you. That song, it wasn't for you. And he was like, I fuck with all the other songs. That one didn't make it. And I'm like, cool. It was for them. Yeah. And I was like, damn, I'm glad I did it. And another DJ was like, I fuck with that second. So I fuck with Gilbert Arenas. But he had just came back from LA. You know what I mean? So you can understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the fact that, you know, it's just Gilbert Arenas itself, like, people don't even know, like, that's a NBA player from California. From, you know what I mean, like the Los Angeles County area specifically. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, took a blower to work, and after that was the end of it for him. You know what I'm saying? But how many cats you know from LA take a blower to work every day?
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's another thing too. I feel like when people listen to projects or like anything in general, like not everything is gonna sit with them or relate to them, and like that's fine. Like right. You said, it just wasn't for him. Yeah, I'm okay with that. You know, the opening track. So, Anthem to My Haters. I like that it begins like that. Why is it that you wanted to address the haters for? Like, I mean, I feel like obviously, like, in one way or another, like, you have to sort of pay attention to them in a way, like, if it's motivation or, I don't know, people sometimes want to prove them wrong or whatever, but what made you feel like I need to address this?
It's more so, like, what I was going through that day. Okay. People I was dealing with. Like, all the circumstance, like, very specific. And when I finished the song, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to drop nobody's name. I'm not going to do that shit in no song. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get no free promo from me. So when I looked at it overall, I was like, you know what? It don't have to be specific to no person.
It's just broad.
It's just broad. And especially when I started, like, when the beat really dropped, and it's like, it's no James here. All we know is Gorillas. Like, I grew up in a place, bro, like, you walk home, like, the middle school I went to is, you know what I mean, like, maybe 7 blocks from the house, and not that far. You walk home and you kind of just watch your back. Not because you're overly afraid, but because, you know, from here to here in this 7-block radius, I know some shit gonna go down. I just don't want to be, like, a bystander and
whatever it is.
And get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure, like, oh, shit. So you kind of get tough real early. No matter how you talk, no matter how you look, like, you got a toughness about you. You know, coming from L.A., you got a toughness about you. Coming from California, you know what I'm saying? You go anywhere in the world, they know, like, they can kind of tell if anybody has been there previously from L.A. and you come after, they know. You know, that's just how it is. Like, I went to San Diego one time, and we went to, like, a small little lounge, DJs playing music, but they were like, you can't dance in here. What? Right. And I was like, the fuck we in for? So I was like, bro, give me my money or let's go. I was like, and so they was like, so the bouncer was like, you from LA? I was like, yep. He's like, yeah, we can tell y'all don't play that shit. I was like, why would you play music, bro?
Yeah, well, wait, what the fuck? It's a club, it's a lounge. Right. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Like that's so confusing. Western. It's not like you playing country, like you playing top 40 hits, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
that's mad confusing. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, it's certain shit, like our attitude, how we approach shit, how we press shit, like, you can't take it away from us. And so I wanted to just be like, kind of press that. People have an issue with LA. People think that this shit is sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this not no fucking vacation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you're on the other side, you know what I mean, you north of the 10, yeah, to an extent maybe. But you cross on that other side, like it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's some people who don't even know the 110 freeway exists past downtown LA. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, do you know that's the vein to LA?
Yeah.
Like that 110, not the 405, not that other shit. The 110. Like you want to go to the real LA? Hop on the 110 and get past Adams. And get off at every stop and see what you see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just proud. Like, so it's like hate is a form of just like people not necessarily agreeing or not thinking you should be on that path or feeling like you're not the communicator.
Yeah, the different forms.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so people feel like you owe them something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all type of shit. So I just felt like I should address it on all levels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody, like, it's more of an energy. Anybody who feel like that, you know, when you wake up, you can play that shit. Like, listen. Like, I'm built for it tough. Like, I don't give a fuck how this day is. You know what I mean? I was built for this day to do this shit and to have a good day.
Yeah. So. And it's kind of like, you know how you say that, you know, when the bouncer asked if you were from LA and he was like, I could tell. Like, it's kind of, it sets the tone for the tape as if the name is enough. Like, right. You know, but like if somebody were to be like scrolling on streaming platforms, then it's just like, oh shit. Like, you know, so. Yeah. Thank
you for that.
No problem. I was just like, holy shit. I was like, I have to ask this question. So my absolute favorite track on the tape is Swing of Things. I know that was a single that you had released beforehand and you threw it on the tape. But when I listened to that, it really, like, I could picture the visual. Like I really picture that being used in like a movie. Like whether it's like a high school movie or some sort of movie where like I see like the drone shot and like some kid on like the bus or walking down the street. Vivid. Like, yeah, like I don't know what it is, but when I start the tape off there. When I ran it back, I was like, no, I have to start here because it just gives me that LA feel. Like I want to be like driving down the freeway, windows down type shit. So I really like that song. What inspired that track? Because I like it so much. I have music video ideas, but we'll talk about that off camera. For sure. That's how much I like it.
At the time, I had a homie who, like, when I first dropped Purple Dusty LA, like right before I dropped it, I did a show at Crazy Girls.
Okay.
And none of that music was out.
Oh, okay.
None of the music was out. And everybody, like, I don't know if you're familiar with the song Chamberlain, but, like, the whole club like 100 baby, 100 baby, and I was just like, I looked at them like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I ain't never really had people repeat like lyrics to songs.
Yeah.
Especially the shit ain't out. So I was like,
so you're like, huh?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it wound up being catchy enough that I don't have to tell you what to say.
Yeah.
You know, it's little shit like that in certain shows. You might be like, man, fuck this, but you might learn just like real small, like, oh, that right there is catchy. That worked.
Yeah. That must have been a dope feeling.
It was dope.
Yeah.
And so my homie Giggles, he was like, damn, bro, like, why you ain't send me the song? I was like, bro, that song not out. I just did it tonight just to see.
Yeah.
So he's like, bro, let's work. Like, let's figure it out. Like, and he's like, has a lot of music connections. So he's like trying to manage me and trying to like figure it out. And he was, you know, doing some bouncing at a club himself and wound up getting into an unfortunate situation. And they locked my guy up. And it wasn't his fault. That's why I said it's literally out of self-defense.
Yeah. Somebody
walk up and they slap the shit out of you, you're not going to let them just
do
walk
it.
away.
Yeah.
So basically, like, somebody put his hands on my boy, and my boy beat the brakes off his ass.
Yeah.
It's not, you shouldn't have touched me. Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't know what I'm capable of. You know, so dude wound up being in a coma.
Wow.
So my boy had to do the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the evidence shows that it's self-defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like the state of California should take that shit off my boy record regardless. But he wound up getting out, you know. Luckily, you know, we prayed and he was able to get out. And in the second verse, I got a cousin. Like, you know what I mean? This is real shit, like, real stories. Who got locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's out, you know, now. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing because I start off like, you know, loaded bases on my niggas on. my only focus bring my niggas home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now everybody home so far in that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I spoke that shit into existence.
That's dope.
When niggas was locked up. You know what I'm saying? And so my cousin, you know, I think it was like a little blower situation or whatever, but it's like, you know, like I said, like you know, like pride, period, for a human, like you let somebody slide, all right, bro, like don't trip. And then they try to throw that shit in your face, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, wait, hold up, man. Like, come on, bro. Who do you think I am?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people go to, you know, people get locked up for just human shit, bro. Like, people, you know what I mean? Just out of respect. Like, don't treat me like, you know what I mean, like a piece of shit, bro. That's when you get animalistic reactions out of people. You know what I mean? And so, now those guys are home, but the relationship, the communication I had, you know, like with those guys prior to that, I just had to get it out. Yeah. You know, and it's like I felt guilty. And like AJ know this, like I would cry a lot, bro, like on the way to work. Sometimes like smoking a blunt, like smoking a wood. Yeah. Working for, like, I was working at a high school. I can't even say like the title and shit, but I was working at a high school. Yeah. And like I would just think about it, like sometimes like I would feel like I'm up against a wall. I'm going through all this bullshit. Yeah. And then I just kind of stopped middle of smoking. I'm like, nigga, Jizzle in there doing, you know what I mean, on a bunk, nigga. You gotta share a room with somebody. Yeah. And you complaining, you going to work. It's perspective, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You stressed out about going to work, nigga. Yeah. You know what I mean? This man gotta eat whatever the fuck they serve him. You don't get no fucking options. Yeah. And you sitting here worried about this or that, or you know what I mean, dealing with work drama. If you don't get your ass in there, make your money and go home. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I was like, if we had to switch places, like you walk through, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I mean, like right now, that dude is one of my favorite human beings. Oh, yeah. I don't know nobody who's ever got out of jail, who's came right back to their apartment, right back to their job. Yeah. Like ain't shit. Like nothing changed. Like if he was on vacation, like yeah, he's, like everything went back to normal. Like what? Yeah. I was like, damn, like that's crazy. Ain't missed a bill payment. Really? Wow. Not a, you know what I mean? Like they didn't drop his title at work. None of that. Like this man, like putting his sister through school. You know what I mean? We talking about someone who's basically like damn near a trained Olympic athlete. You know what I mean? Yeah. I won't say her name. You know what I'm saying? Like just to, you know, for people's privacy. Yeah. But it's like, you know what I mean? It bounced right back like ain't shit happened. That's crazy. So that's why like that song is like that. Like my emotions, my feeling is just kind of like a kid from L.A. like losing all his homies like in the summer. You know what I'm saying? Like damn. Yeah. So it's like you just kind of on the porch. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to fuck with no new niggas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not because, you know, I don't think you cool or not, but it's just like my circle. Yeah. You know, and I'm like an only child growing up in the house. Like, you know, I got siblings and shit, but I'm the only child growing up in the house. So it's like, I'm okay with me, bro. Like, if I got to be by myself, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm like, fine, yeah. Yeah, like, so. This is why I wanted to ask about the song, because I only know as much as you put into the song. So learning the behind of it, when I listen to it, it's going to give me and like other listeners like a different perspective. Right. So that makes me kind of like dive deeper into you. And then that just makes me relate to the music more, you know? Yeah, a little more like personable. Yeah, exactly. Because it's only the top layer that you give me within the song. So being able to ask you about it, which I'm so glad you're here that I'm able to do that. Like, cool. Yeah. It's you know, it's just. Yeah, because I tried to be a little, maybe like industry or business smart about that song, and I put it out. We recorded it, did it, and I put it out. Yeah. And I was just like, I want to see if people are gonna catch it before I put it on a project. Because I already knew like at that point in the project, we already knew where we were going, like with songs and shit like that. Yeah. So I'm like, I want to see let's see. Yeah, I just want to see. Like if people gonna catch it, if they're gonna pick up on it, if you know. And then a lot of people later on was like, "Hey, bro, like when did you drop this?" I was like, "Oh, about a year and a half ago." Yeah. You know, like just haphazardly, like. Yeah, like nothing. Like yeah. Yeah. About the project altogether,
Is there something significant that you want listeners to take from the project, either as a whole or from like certain songs?
I just kind of want to provide that feel, you know, like not just L.A., but like Manchester. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't. If you're not from here, you don't understand that the culture just along that street. That street take you from the east side all the way to the beach.
Yeah.
You know, for LA, you know how crazy that is? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So that's why I did LMU like that. Because, like, you hit LMU in Manchester, it's a different world.
Yeah.
Completely, like, from LMU all the way Westchester to the beach on, it's different. You know, you get a little further, you hit Sepulveda, it's a different vibe. You get past Sepulveda, you're going to hit GS Sports Bar. And that's why we got ratchet like GS. Because if you ever go to GS Sports Bar.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Like, yeah, it's a ride down Manchester. Like, it really is. So, like, Anthem for My Haters is kind of like waking up. You know, weekend warriors are like getting off of work. Yeah. Coming home, chilling with the homies. Talking shit. Swinging things like, okay, like, after you done hit all that weed, after you done had all them drinks, you still, like, think, like, damn, like, my nigga's gone. Like, before you go to sleep, you got to think, like, those are the thoughts that go through my head. Like, how much of my life, how much of a percentage did I give today? Did I give 100?
Okay.
Like, what did I do?
Reflection.
Yeah, like, always before I go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's fucked up because if I don't feel like I did it right, I won't sleep. Or I can't sleep. Yeah. Like, I'll be up every hour. So, like, it's that, but, like, swinging things, I kind of wanted to take that, like, and have that, like, as a reflection. And it's like, when you feel like that, like, especially as a man, like, before you go to bed and shit, like, I followed it with LMU. Because it's like, if you got, like, a female companion or some type of companion to, like, kind of ease that, life is smoother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so you kind of, it's a release. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it lets, you know, you're able to let go. And that's why I did it where it's not even a whole long-ass song like that. It just kind of, you going through the motions, up and down, like, you know, and LMU is a place, like, that I definitely, during my college year, especially if I was home, like, I definitely was on campus. In the school I went to in high school, like, that was a feeder school. So we had a lot of trips there anyway. So by the time I graduated, I was trying to tap everything there. I had homies who already went to college there. You know what I mean? It was like high school. Like, we was on campus like high school. Like, what's the deal? You know, so... And this was crazy though. The problem, like, the reason why I got to feeling like that wasn't from anyone I went to high school with. Really? Like, you know who Chris Focus is? Brandon Banks? No. Okay. Chris Focus went to LMU. Okay. The year we went on a visit, like, he was there with somebody that I did go to high school with me. That was like my big homie. Yeah. And Chris did music. Okay. You know, and then it kind of picked up from there. I had a family friend of mine, you know, Tribe Kitchen. His sister also was at LMU during these times. You know what I'm saying? Like, then on top of that, you got Dom performing at LMU. Yeah. You got J. Cole coming all the way from New York at St. John's performing at LMU. That's some of his first shows. Yeah. You got you and I, Thurs. You know what I'm saying? YO, like, this is my LA. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You got Pac Div, like, this is my LA. Yeah. And it's like, people don't, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know that, you know what I mean? Like, people don't know I went to school with Jay Skills, who's Dom's cousin. And kind of like, that started getting me to see shit and understand that there's an underground. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was in high school, like, they was like, yeah, you cool, you can freestyle and shit, but you not colder than that nigga K-Dot. Who the fuck is K-Dot? Yeah. Yeah. My school is at the wall of the Bounty Hunter gate, like, at the Nickersons. That separates our football field. Oh, shit, okay. If that wall wasn't there, it's straight project. It's straight Nickerson Garden. Shout out to all the Hunters, my boy Hundo. You know what I mean? Like, but that shit is the only thing that separates our school from them. Yeah. And then 112th Street Elementary School. That's it. So then it started happening, like, oh, that's K-Dot. Oh, that's Rock. Like, I would just kind of see it. And then once it hit, I had left. Oh, shit. That's right. You had said earlier. I had left to go to college. So I was like,
Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, man, fuck this. I should have never left. You know, and so I was kind of like, fuck that, come back. But after that, I did the Normandy freestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like a freestyle just kind of like to warm you up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like for the most part, like so that's why I titled it that because when I went into the studio, I think I did that one too when I came back from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, played it and I was like, oh, this shit hard.
Yeah.
I was like, pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went. No punches, no.
Let it all out.
Yeah, just went. And I was like, fuck it. Like, just hold on to it. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
And then my boy KO hopped on that shit, and that was that. And I left it at that, like, minute length because it's a freestyle.
Yeah.
So if any nigga want to hop on it and take the beat and go ahead, like, go ahead, bro. Put that shit out and do your shit. But you know what I'm saying? So it was just for me also, like, as an artist to kind of give back to other artists. Like, if you fuck with this beat like that, here go a minute. You go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might, do a little challenge, like send that minute out. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Send it back to me and let me hear what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the freestyle is Gilbert, after Normandy is Gilbert Arenas.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of wanted to talk about like my section without getting overly
descriptive.
Like, overly descriptive, like overly violent, overly gang bangy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause it's more to it, but I was like, everything else is kind of like described, but like this part hasn't been touched on. How can I talk about this and be creative?
Yeah. How
can I talk about this where, like someone who works on Wall Street maybe can get a little perspective?
Okay.
You're not going to get it.
You're like painting a piece of the picture instead of showing them the whole mural.
Yeah, because you're not going to get it at all. Even if it's the whole mural, you ain't lived there. You know what I mean? You don't have that lifestyle. You don't have that culture. You know what I mean? You on Wall Street, you might not ever have to take a bus in your life. You know what I'm saying? So it might not be relatable for you, but you understand danger. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, that's why I said, like, he a demon. Yeah, he slide around in the Prius. Like, it's L.A., bro. Like, you can get popped anywhere.
Yeah.
You can get hit anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so don't feel like, oh, like, nigga in the Prius or it don't matter. You can get popped in a Mazda. You can get popped in a Prius. You know what I'm saying? You can get popped in Hollywood, Santa Monica, L.A., Compton. It don't matter.
Yeah.
This place is based on respect.
Yeah.
Once you cross that line, like, you kind of put yourself out there for anything to happen. And so I try to be very, you don't hear me say, like, the 80s or A-Trade, nothing. Like, I don't feel like I have a right to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not put on that set. So I don't have a right to keep saying, like, A-Trade this or nothing. I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my place. But to say a 3 and unify that as the section of that.
Yeah.
Because that goes beyond that too. You know what I mean? That goes beyond the 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm from the part of LA where that number means a lot. And so that's why I said that, like, I'm from the part of LA where my niggas throwing 3s up like they don't believe in peace, huh? Western Ave by Tumby's Pizza. If you're not from there, you have no clue of what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But I just told you, bro, like, in very little words, like, I'm from a part of LA where niggas don't even fuck with where Nipsey from. Where that's the issue. Western Ave by Tumby's Pizza. I don't even want to say the specific location of what that is. You know what I mean? And certain shit, but like, those are meaningful locations.
Yeah, you're kind of like speaking in code, and like you said, if you get it, you get it.
You get it. Because at the end of the day, like, who am I to drop some whole shit like that?
To give specifics, yeah, I feel it.
So then you can indict me? And I ain't never had to do no time. I done some dumb shit I might have to sit in holding. You know what I'm saying? I might have weasel, finesse my way, ran. I ain't never had to do the time. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna indict me over some music, especially that they passing that law?
Yeah.
Bro, fuck all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's Cass is big on that, bro. Like, I'm not doing that.
You have to be creative, but we have to figure out a way to either like have that changed, but also like I don't want artists to like change how creative they have to be, but it's more so having to like low-key overthink what's being put out because you don't know how that's going to be twisted and turned. Like,
That's why, like, the thesaurus is, like, one of my favorite, like, things. because it's a flip on words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so people get caught up in, like, you got to say it like this. Like, well, try that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then see what other synonyms and antonyms kind of work with that.
Yeah. That
maybe work, rhyme-wise, pattern-wise.
Yeah.
Chop that. But it's like, you don't have to keep doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Back in Blood, like one of my favorite little, like, songs right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you keep saying, like, he was talking all that shit. Now his ass up in that wood, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you're not technically involved, if the DA want to, put your name on paperwork, they can, because you just spoke about it.
Yeah.
That's not their fault. They wanted to do their job today,
and
they picked on you.
Yeah.
And
you never know when you're gonna get picked on. You never know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So instead of me having to be like, nah, bro, we just code that shit up. If you get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it always is. We're just like, bro, like, everybody got this Crenshaw, Nipsey, Marathon, All Money In, like, idea of L.A. And that's cool, and I respect that. You know what I mean? Like, Nipsey, one of my biggest influences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're not from here, you do have to know that there's more than Crenshaw. There's more than Nip here. You know what I'm saying? Like, artist-wise.
Yeah.
Culture-wise. So we just got to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, as artists, to kind of, like, push that culture or, like, give a shine and light on your, your section and shit like that, to me.
Yeah.
Because if not, like, where do people, like, how can people relate that? It's just one big ass LA to everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, just leaving Atlanta, niggas like, well, I don't know where Manchester is, but I'm going to find out. Like, I'm going to listen. Like, through your music, I can kind of get a feel.
Yeah. That's dope.
Because it's like, it's an aggressive place, but it's cool at the same time. Like, it can be real cool.
Yeah.
And it can be real aggressive. You know what I mean? It's a crazy place. It's a switch. It's good, bad, depending what part, what side you from, how long you grow up over there. You know what I'm saying? How familiar you are with the surroundings. It's different.
Yeah. Let's talk about tour. You just got back from Atlanta.
Yeah.
How many shows did you do? Was it like a tour? Or was it tour and, like, you did press?
I was gonna do press, and, like, shit just got crazy out there.
Yeah, I feel it.
So I think I did 5 shows.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, we did.
We did 5? Yeah, 5.
We did 5.
Yeah.
And shit was just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I did 1 show. And I don't know if you're familiar with Jay Fever, but Jay Fever was in the building. And he does a couple, like, he has a show that he does on, I don't know if it's like Netflix or Dancing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So he's like a host and, like, a voice for that show. He was in the club the day I did a show with Jose Guapo.
Oh, okay.
And so he was like, hey, bro, like, come fuck with me tomorrow. I was like, huh? He's like, I'm doing a brunch, like, my DJ there. Bring your music. We dropping your shit tomorrow. Pull up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we pull up. I'm thinking they're just going to drop the music. No big deal. And it's funny because, like, my boy who I did music with previously, he went to Morehouse. So I already been going back and forth to Atlanta a lot. Like, just for homecoming, be drunk and have fun. Whoop. So this specific day, we go to a club called Sweet. And I've been there before, but, like, it's been maybe, like, it's, plus Corona. So it's been some years since I've been there, and I'm like, huh? So I get there, and I'm like, oh, shit, I've been here. I know this place.
Yeah.
I've been there because we had been going to homecoming parties there, getting fucked up, drunk as shit.
All the flashbacks were coming.
Yeah. So, like, when I posted it, like, under the post, like, I just kind of wrote, like, it's funny how, the tables turn. Because I never thought, like, I ain't never even had no dream of being in there.
Life comes full circle.
Yeah, and that shit, like, that's the type of shit that, like, I kind of, like, been grinding for. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, like, I wouldn't even imagine that shit would happen. Like, you wouldn't, like, you could have told me that, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool.
Like, sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done had DJs, like, turn me away from their DJ booth in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen people, like, friendships break up. Like, all type of just wild shit happen in there just from having, like, trying to go in there and have a good time. So I'm like, hell no. I go in there, bro. Like, they played my shit, and I was nervous a little bit. And he was like, rock that shit. Gave me the mic. I got up, and I ain't see nothing but lights. and it's a day party, right? So I'm like, right,
shit.
I don't see nothing but lights, just.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, but I went through it, got that shit turned, and it was Weekend Warrior that I did. And so,
okay.
Yeah, so the club went stupid. Like I'm like, oh y'all,
that's tight. Yeah. And like to not be home and get that energy.
Yeah.
Is like, I mean, I'm not an artist. I've never performed, but like, you know what I mean. I can only imagine like how amazing that felt
shit
for
right
you.
there. I was like, oh okay, it's over, and it's like, you know, some experiences just cool because like I couldn't have wrote a better script. You know what I'm saying? Like we walk in, he showed us to a section.
Yeah.
Like it was huge. You know what I mean? Like I didn't ask for that. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was gonna get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
you walked in with no expectations. He just told you to pull up and you were like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Pull up. Thank you for supporting me. You fuck with the music. I'm gonna pull up. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So you know, I pull up. We got a big ass section. You know, shit was cool. Roll my little weed, smoke my little weed in there and shit.
Yeah.
Cool. Next thing you know, niggas start coming out the woodworks. Hey, bro, can I buy a backwood off you? I'm like,
you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck going on? And then me, like, if I'm gonna be out, like, especially during the day, and it took me a while, like, being locked down, like, via COVID, like, to even have a social presence.
Oh, okay.
Because I tried to go out before I left to go to Atlanta for my birthday.
Yeah.
I left. I lost too many people in here. I feel weird. It's uncomfortable. Okay. My social anxiety shot through the roof. My mom had a party for one of her coworkers at the house.
You were like, no.
I walked in there. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just fucking me up. But I'm like, maybe it was good that I started. So then, like, now it's like, that shit happened. Everything worked out. But I had no clue. The shit went up, man. Like, and I just couldn't write a better script. But
yeah.
Like, and everybody was kind of looking at us because they're like, why is, you know, this dude who's hosting keep coming over here to this section specifically, talking to him? Like, and then I guess maybe the club was waiting to see who I was or what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Did that shit, and that shit went nuts. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I was like, okay, we got something. Yeah. Shit working, we got something. Yeah.
That's tight. How exciting. Because especially, like, you were just going over there, like, expecting just to do a few shows, right? So, and then, you know, it's always nice to have, shit. Like, the energy. I feel like all artists should go into shows with, like, no expectations. Like, you know, because you just never know how the crowd is going to be or whatever.
Exactly.
But when you do get good energy, it's like, soak that shit up.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. Cause first show, like, most of the people in there was from, like, Tennessee, from Chattanooga.
Oh, okay.
Like, from Atlanta and then from Chattanooga and shit. So it's like, you know, like, that's difficult. Like, already, like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody before you, all they shit is trap. You know, all the girls before you on some Megan shit. You know what I mean? Like, so you're like, damn.
You kind of start to overthink it and stuff, right? Yeah, you're second guessing
like,
yourself just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So then, you know, I had a show at Stank on Your Studios in front of nothing but, like, DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 25 DJs.
That's tight.
And right, it was dope. It was tough. The nigga before me just got out of jail December via COVID. And his set was crazy. He went up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck, bro.
I can't catch a fucking break.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck. So I go up right after him. We do our shit, and they loved it. And I was surprised. I was like, oh, shit, thank God. And that was my biggest, like, level of stress. And once I had that, I was like, oh, that release, I was like, and once they said, like, this works, I'm going to put this in the mix. Yeah. I'm going to put this in the rotation.
Yeah.
And it's crazy being where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? Like, we technically are, like, the ops of Nipsey side. You know what I mean? Like, that section of L.A. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm nobody op. You feel me? But, like, that section is, you know, considered that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you in after dedication. I'm going to throw you in the mix with my...
You were like, huh?
Oh, God. I was like, what you say, bro?
Yeah.
Because it's like, bro, that man used to let me smoke on that truck. You feel me? Like, I lived in Lamert for a second, so I walked down there.
Yeah.
You know, me and my girl arguing or having a stressful day. I walk right down 6th Ave, all the way to from 6th all the way to Slauson. Walk to Slauson and just sit on the truck and smoke sometime. And, like, I had used, I don't know if you remember this, but it was a company called Just Be Cool. Like, early on in L.A., LAX Paper Boys, Just Be Cool, work with Dom Kennedy, Skeen, Pac Div, Casey Veggies.
Yeah.
all these cats doing shows, all type of shit, overdose. And I was like interning for them.
Oh, okay.
They did a show. It was called Relief for Haiti.
Oh, okay.
Nip and Don was the headliners.
The headliners.
Overdose did the show. That's the first time I ever met Nip.
And
I was like working the door, and I'm a type of person like I'll make a joke to trying to break the ice with you instead of like being overly serious. And he had that Malcolm X chain on, and I was like, man, you might as well just give me that shit. Like, what you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never spoke to him a day in my life. And he was just like, hey, cuz, he was like, you look like the type of nigga that I want to take this type of shit too. And we just had a little convo from there, and he was just kind of like, you good though, man. He was like, you kind of a stand-up dude, and he went on about his shit.
Yeah.
And we never had much of a conversation after that. Like, never really ran into each other to have a convo after that.
Yeah.
But he's come outside of the shop. And they be like, oh, nigga smoking on his truck, cuz. Oh, cuz, good, I know, cuz. Like literally, like, just wave me off. And I'd be like, and it's crazy. And like, bro, I've been buying shit from there since it was Slauson Tees. You know what I mean? Since his dad was working at the store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since it was like next door by.
So you literally like watched it change.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched that shit. Like, and that's, like, he's one of the biggest motivations for me as an artist. Because it's like, bro, you don't need none of that machine shit. You need you. You need to know that your bank.
Yeah.
You need to save your money. You need to get a business plan, a financial advisor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to have some goals, some standards, some morals of what you're going to do business-wise, what you're not going to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to figure out how you're going to uplift your community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my first step. And
it's more than just, like, being famous.
Yeah, like, Manchester is my first step for community, like, outwardly. You know what I mean? Like, the project before that, 7718, that's literally the address of my house. You know what I'm saying? In that area, like, where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Purple Dusty L.A. Summers, I tried to mix a couple of things in that, but I always try to, like, present my area. So I got that from it.
Yeah.
I know that I got to give back to my area.
Yeah.
I got that from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the biggest, like, rap influences for me, like, because it's not just music.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, like, rest in peace, Mac Dre. You know what I mean? And people don't know, like, before there was Nip, there was Mac Dre. Like, no label, no help.
Yeah.
From the most overlooked place in the Bay musically at that time. Nobody gave a fuck about Vallejo. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes from that to putting the whole city of Vallejo on. You know what I mean? You listen to SOBRB, they interviews, they'll tell you, like, nigga, Mac Dre coming down the block with the bus passing out money.
Yeah. Like, what? What?
It's not a lot of artists today that you can say that about.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Mac Dre didn't fold under nobody's typical, you need to be a rapper, you need to rap like this. And that man had mixtapes. Like, he was Gucci Man to me before I knew Gucci. Because he was putting them out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Putting them out. Mac Dre, Mac Mall, Mac Dre this, Mac Dre that, Ronald Reagan, like, all that shit. I'm like, damn, it's not stopping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't see no hustle like that. I ain't see nobody give back to their community like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't see nobody put their community on like that. So that was a big ass deal for me.
Yeah.
Those two, like, just being from California too, like, that shit
West
major.
Coast shit.
Yeah, like, that shit major. And then me traveling and college, because, like, I did college, but I traveled a lot. So I've been to Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was a sound that the world accepted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got family, on 8 Mile, 7 Mile, Farmington Hills. Like, I know, like, not know Detroit, but I know some of that culture.
Yeah.
Like, back and forth to Atlanta. So I know some of that culture. I got family in Orlando.
Yeah.
Family in Florida, North Florida, Central Florida. So I know that culture. Alabama. You know what I mean? Like,
there's different pieces.
Yeah, and it's different pieces. It's different, like, slogans, different slang. Like, my cousin, I was in Alabama. My cousin was like, oh, you want a jiggulator? And I was like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Oh, who? He's like, a jiggulator, some ecstasy. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Wow, I've never fucking heard that before.
But watch this. You fuck with Shoreline, right?
Yeah.
They use it in they shit.
Really?
That's what's crazy. But that jiggulator shit is like a South thing, like Alabama, like, oh, popping jiggulator, I'm off a jiggy.
Huh.
Right.
I have to go back and listen. Yeah, because I'm like, yeah. Huh.
Oh, Jeezy. I don't know what song it is, but OG like something off of Giggles later. So yeah, you know.
Wow.
I live like that slang shit is big to me too. Like 40, like just no rules. Like I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know, like I listen to that because that's the most creative part about culture to me. Like you know, you go to Philly, you gonna hear niggas call everything John. You know, it took me 2 weeks. I was like, who the fuck is John?
Yeah.
Like, oh God, like I stopped the homie mid sentence, bro.
They keep talking about this John fool.
Yeah, oh God. I was like, bro, who is John? Why don't you give that nigga a last name? Why haven't I never met this nigga, bro? He's like, not John, Jwn. I was like, okay. I still don't get it.
Yeah.
He's like, it just means a thing. He's like, it's like, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like
I got it. Like,
yeah, and then you're like rethinking conversations. You're like, that makes so much fucking sense.
Yeah, like okay, like finally. So
that's fucking hilarious. Is there anything else coming from you, like shows or like? I know you just dropped the EP, but what else can we expect from you throughout the year?
We got the videos coming.
Okay,
for sure. I'm for sure trying to do as many shows as I can, all 2021.
Yeah.
As many features again as I can. Like just, I'm about working. Like this is it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my work ethic is crazy. I just, excuse me, like I said, the 9 to 5 shit is off. Like I always try. Like I guarantee you, like when I walk out of here, I'm gonna probably try again. But
I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it just don't work, bro. So that same effort, like, cause I've been over backwards, whatever job I got. You know what I mean? Especially if you my manager and I fuck with you and I feel like you're an honest person, you got some morals, you gonna hold me down. Like if some shit go wrong, I've been over backwards. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna abuse me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm vocal about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm learning to be vocal.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I've been mopping this floor for 3 weeks straight. I'm the only that's my task to mop? Or is that everybody's shit? I just wanna know.
Yeah.
Then it's, you know what I mean, being a male, being 6 feet, dreads, you know what I mean? People take that shit offensive, and I ain't did nothing aggressive. I'm just trying to get some clarity.
Yeah.
Because, see, Susie, Peggy, and Jane, they don't never have to mop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when they do mop, it's because that was my day off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck you take me as.
Yeah, yeah. And if you don't ask those questions and if you don't like press it, then they're just gonna be like, he cool with it. Like, and it's just like, what?
I had a management job of a restaurant for a while.
Yeah.
Right by USC. I would put in my notes, another white customer has asked me for Coke today. I don't sell drugs, and I don't want this to become a thing that someone complains and said that I did something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm documenting it so you guys know that. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
2 days later, I come in, I get fired. I said, what you fired me for? You know why. Okay, so I was like, maybe he's going to finish.
And he...
Dead ass silent.
Really?
So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to ask you again. I said, because when I walk out of this motherfucker, it's no job that's going to be okay with me telling them my boss previously said, you know why. Well, you know why. And because California is an at-will employer, that shit right there made me want to slap the fuck out of motherfuckers. Because if you grown enough as a man to put one foot in the shoe, one leg through each pants, and stand up when you piss, say what the fuck you got to say, bro.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to slap the fuck out of you prior, but now you playing with my time.
Yeah. And
you being a bitch about it, just say, bro, this is why, this is the reason, blah, blah, blah. Because if not, I'm going to think you on bullshit. Because I'm a why kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't explain to me why. That's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But like I said, we got more videos coming. I'm going to just keep working. We're going to keep pumping it out.
Yeah.
You know, we got some projects coming. You know, I don't know if they're going to come out this year, but we got some shit.
Yeah. You're locked and loaded?
I'm locked. I think we might be sitting on like 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
And I got a special one. I say this, if the Dodgers make the playoffs, I got another one coming.
Ooh, okay.
Dodgers make the playoffs this year, I'm going to drop that shit. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
We're gonna come back to this one specific clip when the Dodgers make the playoffs.
Dodgers make the playoffs. I drop that shit. I swear to God. So I was gonna do it last year when they won. Mm-hmm. That's how that's how much I'm sitting on shit. When they won, I was gonna do it, and I was just like, it's not ready. Like I need to mix, master.
Yeah.
And it was Corona and shit, so it's like it was hard. Like just trying to work that shit out, and then seeing that shit being born a year like that they last won, and being like a big Dodger fan. Like my mom taking me out of school on Tuesdays. Like we used to live not too far. Hell yeah, we used to live not too far for a while. She'd take me out of school early. Go over there, get those $2 Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Go up there, like, and we used to have to sit in the nosebleeds. But man, with the real Los Doyer fans, like,
hey, but I used to like I still like the nosebleed seats.
Hell yeah, sometimes
like it's scary when you stand up.
Yeah,
like sometimes, but like I like the view. Like you just sitting there and
chilling. Yeah, so like sometimes that's one of my spots, and then left field pavilion, like my favorite spots of all time.
Yeah,
and baseball like one of my favorite sports.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I played baseball like growing up. But it's just like it's a peaceful game, believe it or not, and it's like rap. Like you got to think. You're doing more thinking than people can even see. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be proactive mentally.
You have to watch everything and like do one thing and still look at
exactly. People be like, this shit's boring,
dude. Okay, so like I can't watch it on TV,
right? But in real life,
like I could be at the game and I'm having like so much fucking fun because I'm just like, oh, watch what the fuck, like But on TV, it's just at the pitcher and the guy that's batting, and I'm just like, whatever. I mean, I still watch it, but I'm not as into it as I am like when I'm there, different. So
I feel that.
Is there anything else you want to touch base on before we get out of here?
Nah, man, I'm appreciative. I'm glad I'm here. Appreciate you for having me.
No, thank you for being patient. I hope everybody taps in and they get to understand the different layers of you.
Yeah, it's some layers.
You got to break down a lot, so.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's clear to some people.
I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I did. Look, I just got off a fucking.
I know he's tired. He's tired. I have him here talking forever. He's just fuck.
No, trust me. Like it's more like I have more peace like in this hour or so than I've had in a long
that makes me so happy.
In the last couple of days, so I appreciate that. Been hectic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you stopping by.
Anytime.
Let the people know where they could find you and all that stuff.
Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at L.A Juan 310. That's L.A Juan, like a Mexican. 310 L.A Juan. All social media. To look me up on anything that's streaming, it's just L.A. space JUAN. Manchester should pop up, and you can get your postcard there.
Yep. All his social media links and streaming links will be below. I want you guys to tap into the EP and come back and let us know like what you guys like. He's very reachable on social media.
Facts.
And tap in. And thank you for pulling up.
No problem. I appreciate you.
No problem. We out.